So let's start it off with spoilers. Thanos had to win, and that wasn't surprising to anybody. So what matters was the journey. Infinity War starts off kind of obnoxiously funny and sad. The funny parts are kind of brief and joyless, and so the whole movie ends up being just about people being upset. Which means spoilers! That's kind of the point, right? I mean, you're watching people have their entire universes torn down around them, and at the end of the day, all this is about is making you hate Thanos. I mean, they've talked about him in the past movies, and he's made his brief cameos, but for someone who's supposed to be this big cinematic bad guy, I certainly didn't care about him when I bought my ticket. So by the time he snaps his fingers and kills half the universe, what I think Marvel wants is to give us a sense that their big bad villain does not remotely give a f*** about tearing your world down around you if you get in the way of his plan. Cool. And I mean that. I think it works. Which brings me to spoilers. They're going to bring everyone back in the next one. And I'm not just saying that because that's what happens in the comics. All of the characters that they chose to kill off have thick plot armor, which when you think about it, undermines the deaths that I think Marvel wants us to think are permanent. But so what? I mean, they were never going to convince us that those deaths were permanent anyway. The reason those deaths matter has nothing to do with the real sense of loss that we might feel as an audience. These are fictional characters. If you do have a real sense of loss, just write some fan fiction about them. It'll be just as real as the movie. The loss we feel, to the extent that it matters, comes from a sense of empathy that we get for these characters living in their world for a couple hours. It's because they don't know that their friends are coming back in the sequel. If it's done right, you're drawn in. And because of the excellent acting, directing, storytelling, writing, scoring, it all works, even though you're too smart to be fooled by it. So, anyway, spoilers. Giant Peter Dinklage is great. The best fight is in the first 5 minutes. It's when Thanos takes down the Hulk. Now, it's not the biggest fight, it's not the longest fight, but it's the fight that matters the most for the audience. It does what all of the MCU has failed to do, which is establish Thanos as something truly scary. And I like the choreography. I thought it was subtle but brutal. If you have any thoughts, or you just want to get into a pedantic text battle with someone you don't know on the internet, leave a comment below, like this video, and, oh yeah, subscribe.